Hi guys, and welcome to another edition of Onside SA. It's really hotting up, and I've just come back from the UK. But great to be back in the hot seat. And you and Gav last week were speaking to Steve. I met Steve, and Steve came around my place in the UK, made a few jars together, as he likes to say, get the beers in.
Get the beers in.
Get the beers in, Steve. Abood. I see Abood still in.
Yeah, he's a dark horse in this competition, Paul.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Be careful.
Let's talk about it. We always talk about last one standing. And everyone seems to be staying, and the results have been very favourable. And only 4 people went out, so 153 down to 149.
Yeah.
I see you got your top of the boards, Anthony Sear. 7 selections left.
He's played well, Anthony.
Has he?
Yeah, done very well. But this is the big week coming up. If Spurs don't win, I think there's carnage this weekend, Paul.
Spurs will win, so the boys. But 149, you get on Spurs. Lurkers, Eric Redmond, Mark Abood, and Tace Statler.
Race with Tace. Yeah,
Race with Tace. And people with 4 picks: Michelle Narek, the CEO, Graham Hawkins. So Gold Circle got a chance here.
I think they must be having a meeting before they make the picks, but we'll see.
So they're still
rolling. It's tougher.
Right, get your selections in. Right, let's see. I believe Stevie B's in the London studio. Stevie, you there? Hello, Steve.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm very well. You recovered from your week away?
I'm back into the swing of things. Got back yesterday, straight into the action. Right, we've got some Premiership news that Budge and I want to discuss with you. And
Sure.
What's the latest on Harry Kane?
Well, obviously it would be a big worry for Spurs if he's out for the season. I think the jury's still out as to quite what's happened. I mean, it was when I looked fairly innocuous at the time, but then he was off, and they announced sort of almost straight away he could be out for the season. Now he does seem to recover quicker than normal, Harry Kane. He's been very good like that, but I think Tottenham can't afford to miss him for the rest of the year. With everything that's still to play for.
Steve, isn't it strange though that Son's done a good fill-in job when he hasn't been there?
Yeah, I mean, Son, you're right. I mean, he has done. I mean, obviously, I don't think Spurs would want to be without Kane because obviously if Son got injured or Eriksen got injured in the last few weeks, then they really would be light with Ali just coming back from injury. So, but I mean, Son stepped up again as he often does and scored a cracking goal the other night.
Yeah, it was a good goal. Steve, different change of tactics. Danny Drinkwater, he was one of the heroes when Leicester won the league. What the hell's happening with him at Chelsea?
Well, I think this is a case. You've seen it before of somebody who he had a wonderful few years at Leicester, won the league with them, and then signed a new 5-year contract, and a year later put in for a transfer request. Chelsea came in with a big money move, 35 million, 5-year contract on at least 100,000 a week, and he's played 12 games for them and was told in the summer he's got no future at Chelsea. Now, I think what to me, where I get sort of a little bit angry with some of these players, it's almost like he thinks he's too good to go to a smaller club now. So he's just sat on, or not even on the bench. He just turns up for training and takes his money. And now, as you probably saw on the news, he's out partying, and evidently this is not the first time he's been stopped, but he was arrested for drink driving. He'll lose his licence. Chelsea will fine him, and he finds himself really not playing at all. And you just wonder, you question, where's the hunger with these players? I mean, he played for England 3 years ago. He's a million miles away from that again. So it is sad. I think these footballers who are now paid vast sums of money just have no hunger for the game.
Yeah, I agree. Steve, Tuesday night, Tottenham against Man City. What did you think?
I thought Tottenham thoroughly deserved it. I mean, they wanted it more. I mean, City just, to me, and they've looked like this in a few games over the last few weeks. It's almost like they sort of going through the motions a bit. They're like, I just feel they're holding back. As if something in the back of their mind saying we've got a lot of big games coming up. We've got to conserve a bit of energy, and they just, they had a lot of the ball as they do, but they didn't really hurt Tottenham. The penalty was soft. I mean, it was given, but it was. Again, not the first time Aguero's missed the penalty, and I think Tottenham deserved it. I mean, they showed a lot more fight and passion and wanted it more.
Yeah, can you see them getting through?
Look, I didn't think they would before, but you never know. I mean, City have got to find that form they had earlier in the season where they were really putting teams to the sword.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand not starting with De Bruyne. I mean, he is such a great player, and they've got him back. They played him against Brighton in the Cup, and they really didn't have to. They could have played somebody else.
Yeah.
And to bring him on with 5 minutes to go just seemed. I was surprised that of that tactic. I can't believe he won't start if he's fit next week. So all to play for. Tottenham don't really want to give an early goal, but if Tottenham pinch an away goal, then I think that they've as good a chance.
Yeah, agree. Liverpool, Porto. Just saw the highlights of that.
I think that. They'd be pleased with that. I think they probably would have liked another one in the second half. Obviously, 2-0 up early on. Porto, created 1 or 2 chances, and it's not going to be an easy ride. And I think, provided Liverpool don't concede early, and if they score an away goal, then I think they'll go through. But I think they could have. The mistake I'm sure Klopp won't let them make is to be complacent. So if they go there determined and try and catch Porto on the break, I think that they'll go through.
Yeah, I agree. You just don't see them not scoring. Now, last night, Man United played Barcelona. Disappointing game, wasn't it?
The first 20 minutes, you thought, oh, here we go. They scored a relatively easy
goal,
and had a lot of the ball, but then United got back into it. And to be honest, I was very disappointed with. They had a lot of the ball in good areas. United, the quality of that final ball, the quality of the ball into the box, and Ashley Young was guilty so many times. He just couldn't find a red shirt, and you just think, and then Marcus Rashford had 2 or 3 sights at goal and got nowhere near it. So in the end, they lost, but Barcelona were not at their best, and I think they've got it all to do. I think it'll be very hard for them now.
Yeah, sadly, we never had a shot on target.
I thought they played well, though. I thought United did.
They got themselves in good positions on a number of occasions.
Yeah, you're right, Steve. We're just lacking a creative player. And Ashley Young, read this morning, the newspapers were slating him badly. Yeah?
He's captain, eh?
Yeah, leaves the team out, that's all.
I don't know, they just made wrong decisions with the quality of that final ball.
Yeah.
And it just, there were times when I thought, this is it, they're gonna break through. And Barcelona, as I say, didn't concede a shot on target without playing that well.
Yeah. The last game, Steve, I watched quite a bit of this one. Real Madrid, Ajax. What a good game.
Juventus.
Well, Juventus, sorry.
Just saw some highlights, and it looked like Ajax, by the sounds of it, played very well.
Yeah, they did.
A great goal. And, but at the end of the day, Juventus will be very happy to take them back. I said last week they'll be happy to take them back to Turin with a draw, but I think Ajax have got nothing to lose like they did in Madrid. I think they'll go for it. They're an exciting attacking team, and that game's not over, but I think Juventus will fancy their chances at home. They were without Chiellini. I'm not sure if he's going to be back next week.
Yeah. No, I agree. I just think they'll sneak through. They just seem to know how to get through the Italians, but tell you what, their goalkeeper Chesney made some good saves late on. Steve, on to the weekend Premiership. The big game, obviously, is Liverpool at home to Chelsea on Sunday. How do you see that going?
Well, Liverpool, as we know, they have to keep winning on the basis they think City are going to win. I think they can do. Chelsea have shown a little bit of form.
Yeah.
And I think if they can sort of keep Hazard quiet, not always an easy thing to do, but I think that could be the key. They keep Hazard quiet and they take their chances. I think Liverpool could win that.
Yeah. Fortunately, it starts on Friday. We will have it. You see Leicester winning their 4th game in a row?
I think they will. I think they're playing very well. Brendan Rodgers just seems to be getting, the best out of some of the players. There was no secret that Vardy and Puel didn't get on, and Jamie Vardy's sort of back scoring goals, so he's obviously seems happier with life. They've had some good wins in recent weeks, and I think Newcastle are pretty much safe. They don't need that many more points, so I think Leicester should win that.
Yeah. Talking about safe, Burnley, Cardiff. Cardiff get beat, are they gone?
Burnley have certainly put a good run on recently, and I think for Cardiff, lose this, and I think that they got 1 foot in the Championship. They're 5 points adrift, effectively 6 with goal difference. I think if Burnley win this, they're pretty much safe, and I think that could be the first nail of a few that could go into Cardiff's coffin. And in fact, next week they play Brighton away, followed by Liverpool at home Cardiff. So they know they've got to start picking up points. But I'd be surprised if they get anything at Burnley.
Yeah, and can your boys Fulham cause an upset? Surely they've got a result in them.
I think they have a result in them, but I don't think it will be this Saturday. Everton seem to be one of the most informed teams in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
I've watched the last few games have been on TV, and I've been very impressed with them. I mean, they could easily have beaten Arsenal by more than one goal. They should have won at West Ham by more. I think it's going to be a hard game for us. Although, having said that, we've got nothing to lose now. We're relegated. We might as well just give it a go. And I think the fans just want to see a little bit of fight and passion in the last few games.
Yeah, I agree. Steve, Man City Palace. Do you think comfortable game for City or Palace?
Well, I mean, this is a game that up at the Etihad everyone thought would be a comfortable 3 points, and Palace went there and won.
Yeah.
It was I guess the first shock of the season. So City will want to bounce back. They can't afford to slip up. They did last year, if you recall. They were on a run of several wins in a row, and it was Palace that held them and almost won with a last-minute penalty that they missed. So, I think Palace seem to be showing a lot of form away. They're not quite the same team at home, but I think that's going to be a tight game. I think City will probably just edge it by a goal, though. Yeah,
the De Bruyne factor. And the last game is Watford-Arsenal on Monday.
Well, Watford, you're not sure what you're going to get with them. I mean, they're they look completely out in of the FA Cup with 15 minutes to go, and deservedly in the end won it. Arsenal, I think that for them, if they don't win this, I think you could almost start to say goodbye to their top 4 chances. They've been very soft away from home. I just wonder if Watford now they're safe, they might have won out on the cup. So I think Arsenal know they have to win it. I might go with them.
Okay. Steve, Championship's hotting up. Obviously, the big results last night. Leeds Sheffield United looks the big game of the weekend. Can Steve Bruce's team cause an upset?
Wednesday.
Sorry, Sheffield Wednesday. Apologies.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, look, Wednesday lost to Villa in a very good game, evidently.
Last Saturday, yeah.
I think they've just fallen away a little bit, but that's their first game they've lost in pretty much under Steve Bruce. So Leeds had a good win, unfortunately, at North End during the week, and was very comfortable. I think that's going to be a close game. I don't think Wednesday will roll over. I think they feel that this is their last chance, so I think it's going to be very close. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a draw.
Okay, Aston Villa, Bristol City, 2 informed teams?
Yeah, I mean, that's another really big game. I mean, Bristol has surprised me. They had a wobble. They've come back and beaten Sheffield United, Middlesbrough and West Brom now. Villa just seemed to keep scoring goals. I mean, I thought last night was they could have come unstuck. They were 1-0 down, had a player sent off, and came back with two goals. So I think that's going to be goals. I think Villa might just edge that, and both of those teams are looking like they're going to be in the playoffs now.
Yeah, Middlesbrough, Hull City, I know that's a squeaker for the boys to try and sneak in. How do you see that?
Yeah, I think personally, I mean, Borough was 6 defeats in a row. I think that they're, I think they've almost left it too late. I mean, they have to win this.
Yeah.
Didn't Hull win last night?
Effectively. Hull, still not far adrift themselves, but they don't travel very well. I think this is it for Borough. I think Tony Pulis, if he doesn't win this, I think the writing could be on the wall for him at the end of the season.
All right, Stephen, last but not least, Wigan at home to Norwich City on Sunday.
Well, you'd expect Norwich to win that. I mean, Wigan had a good result last week. I mean, they held Bristol City. Yeah. Norwich got a taste of their own medicine last night, having scored 2 late goals. They conceded in the 97th minute to Reading to draw. But, they're 6 points clear, Norwich, and they're going to want to, get that first place wrapped up. I think they'll go there and score goals and win.
Yeah, just a bad pitch, and Wigan. I see they're only 2 points above the relegation zone.
Yeah, I mean, they're not an easy team to beat at home, but I just think Norwich, have got goals in them, and I just think they will be too strong.
Yeah. Who do you think will go up automatically with them? Sheffield United or Leeds?
This, I think it's just too close to call at the moment. I mean, there's just nothing in it. I think Norwich will win it comfortably in the end, but I think, and again, Sheffield United have got Millwall. You'd expect them to win that, and if Leeds slip up against Wednesday or even get held, at the moment they seem to be swapping places. Leeds have got second place, but it's, I think there's, that could still, there's some twists and turns at the vying for that second place, I think, at the moment. The playoffs look, to me, almost done now.
Yeah.
Unless somebody really drops out or someone has a really, really big late run, it looks like 3, 4, 5 and 6 pretty much nailed on now.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, Stevie, excellent. How do you think Kaiser Chiefs will go?
Yeah, who they got in the PSL this week?
8 games this week for us, Steve.
8 games of the PSL.
Yeah.
Stevie, excellent. Thanks very, very much for all the updates, especially the drink water. I knew nothing about him doping.
Talk to you soon. Take care.
Okay, cheers, Steve. Thanks very much. Hell, our man Steve gets the info. Eh?
Yeah, knowledgeable man.
Knowledgeable, talks beautifully, knows what he's talking about, and keeps us up to speed. I've just come back from there. I didn't realise that.
Now, there were games in the championship Tuesday, Wednesday. It was on yesterday. I think he got caught. You know, in England they highlight anything.
Yeah, I told you I went to the opening of the new stadium, but what a stadium! I went and bought a bit of tops and that. You know, there was just such a big shop. You can't believe it just stretches a quarter of a mile, the shop. It really is fantastic. And what they've done with the shop, you can go watch videos of games, you can watch them. And it's no money in the whole stadium.
So no cash?
No cash. Everything's card. Everything card. You want a beer card, you want a hot dog card, you want anything. And they laid on lots of free stuff.
Okay.
They turned on. They've made the one side behind the goal,
a wall,
like a wall.
Dortmund,
you know? Yeah, and it's very good. The seats are good. It was a wonderful occasion, and now we won there twice. But
just got to improve the pitch, Paul.
The pitch, that'll come. That'll come. You know, they've got another one underneath. You know, they go from there. They've got another pitch that they slide up.
But it looks a great stadium, Paul. How much was a beer, if I may ask?
I'll have to ask Charlie.
Oh, okay. Is he buying them?
Charlie Pigram got me my ticket, got me my dops, got me my food. Charlie Pigram's a legend.
No.
I went. Funny thing, we went outside to meet another guy who was coming to join us, some film producer called Bill. And while we were waiting for Bill, Charlie must have shook hands with 500 people. Everyone knows Charlie Pigram. He's a bit of a legend. So well done to Charlie.
Good man.
And he's a good man. He's been great for me in my Spurs career. Right, let's go and talk about Premiership fixtures, you know, coming up. And you and Steve touched on a few of them, but let's go to our board. Leicester, Newcastle, I think is the first one.
Yeah, disappointed in Newcastle. I went to Arsenal with nothing on the line. It's a long drive or train, how you get there. And they were absolutely pathetic, Paul. He doesn't seem to have a go away from home, Rafa Benitez. You know, I was critical of Rodgers leaving Celtic to go to Leicester, but they're a nice team to watch, Paul. So you'd expect them to get a result against Newcastle. 7-10.
Harry didn't play the last two games. One suspension and one birth of his first child.
Okay. So
he'll come back.
He'll come back. Now 7-10, Paul, but it's a Friday game. So
hard to beat them.
Yeah.
Hard to beat them at home.
A lot of good young players, Paul.
Spurs... they should be.
Got to beat Huddersfield.
Especially
you make a lot of changes, but Spurs have got a big squad. Huddersfield can't win a game, Paul. Sightseeing trip for the supporters, but got to be Spurs.
I hope he brings Llorente in.
But he's got to start.
He's got to start. He's only had 4 games. He's scored once. Bring Llorente in. Moura.
Yeah, Lucas Moura. I like him.
He's a good player. He goes at everybody. He's a very good player. So if they start, we'll be rolling with
you'll
them.
be fine.
But I think Huddersfield will have to really play well to come away with anything. You need a lot of luck. Brighton, back at home, they're not a bad side.
Not a bad side, Paul, but they've been struggling of late. They've won 2 out of 8. Now, Bournemouth have lost 10 of the last 11 away games.
But
so if ever there's a chance...
Did you watch Brighton against Man City?
Yeah.
Was it knockout or whatever that winger?
He can play.
He had a good game. Sure.
Are you talking about Brighton? I was at Kit Napier's wake the other day.
Yes, I heard that.
He is Brighton's 3rd highest goal scorer. They're having a minute's silence for him this weekend at the Amex Stadium for Kit. I didn't know that, and just reading up here. Yeah, my dad always told me he was a good player, he was quick. But it's interesting, 3rd highest goal scorer.
Yeah, he had a horse with me. Lovely guy.
Lovely
guy. I unfortunately couldn't be there, I was overseas.
Yeah, it's a big squad for the wake,
Okay, so you're going for?
I think a draw written all over this, Paul. You know, it's Brighton are a draw. Bournemouth are terrible away from home. The only team they've beaten has been Huddersfield.
Yeah.
So they were shocking against Burnley. So it should be Brighton, Paul, but they aren't playing too well.
Burnley, Cardiff City. Cardiff City are fighting for their lives, but they were great against Chelsea and they lost in the last few minutes.
I just don't see Burnley look like they've turned the corner. You know, good result. They beat Wolves comfortably, beat Bournemouth comfortably. I think 9-10, Paul's a good thing.
Fulham, Everton too strong?
Should be, Paul. It was 15-10 Everton to win over 2.5 goals. As Steve said, you know, Fulham are going to have a go.
Win by 3 goals.
Well, no, they've got total goals, over 2.5 total goals.
Oh, I see what you mean, yes.
So it's 7-10 Everton, Paul. I think they're good things,
Okay, let's go to Southampton. Again, they played well when I watched them the other day.
Against Liverpool, they're unlucky. Okay, I know Liverpool strength and depth told it to death. I think there's goals in this game. You know, Wolves, Paul, they got beaten in the semi-final. They were gloating after beating Man United. He should never have played Matinho, Neves, and the guys that could run in their team. Because they ran out of legs against Watford.
Do you know, and he made changes. They were 2-0 up, he made changes. But Troy Deeney getting that goal.
Well, Delafea's chip was a superb chip to get it.
Goals, and even his winner. But you're 2-1 up, you're into time. then Donker's not going to challenge.
Yeah.
Treat Deeney's going
Never saw
nowhere.
him, yeah,
Never
and,
saw him suck
terrible
out a foot.
defending.
Terrible defending, and then he cost him.
Yeah,
he stuck Wolves out. I felt sorry for them.
Yeah, I felt sorry
the
for the
stadium
manager.
was full, Budge.
Yeah. I think it was 81,000, Paul.
Sure, amazing, eh?
Yeah, great day.
Man United 4-10. West Ham are getting a few defeats.
Yeah,
now.
they just, Paul, I just worry about after last night. Liverpool and Man City play Tuesday, Sunday, Wednesday. Man United have got to play Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday. He's going to rotate the squad, Paul. We should be too good for West Ham. We battle away from home.
Who's the new boy? He brought on a Brazilian kid. I thought he looked quite... Man United.
Pereira. Yeah.
He looks useful.
Yeah, he can play. He's a midfield player. He's been there a while.
And the guy who missed the free header?
Dalot. He's one of Mourinho's last son, a young Portuguese right back. He's only 19.
He came in from the left side.
Yeah,
and he should have got ahead of the ball.
Yeah, it was terrible header.
Yeah.
Should have... But it's easy afterwards, Paul.
Yeah,
He's not used to getting in the box.
They got a few players.
Yeah,
they got a few
we should
players.
win, Paul.
Yeah, should win. Okay, how about Palace City should win?
Palace always give them a game, Paul. But
amazing, eh?
Yeah, De Bruyne will come in. They'll give him
tight
a chance.
Ground, it'll be tight.
Ground. Man City have got players. I know if it was a Tuesday night game they played Spurs, it would be different. But Wednesday, few days extra.
Yeah.
Got to think City, Paul. They've got to go for it.
Correct. Liverpool, Chelsea, good game. They've got Liverpool at restrictive odds, 5-10, 1-2
the last
favourites.
8 times they've met at Anfield, Liverpool haven't won.
Wow, and you can nearly get 5-1 Chelsea to win. 9-2 Chelsea.
The way Hazard played, he's playing for a move. You can see that. Wow, I think there's goals in this, Paul.
Yeah.
That Liverpool. I don't know what's going on the Stretford. At the Cop, because the ball's getting sucked in like you cannot believe. Injury time. Spurs, Everton, even at Fulham, they got a last-minute goal. But it's going for them, Paul. So you've got to really...
You earn your luck.
Yeah, good luck.
So how do you see the outcome?
Well, I just think got to be with Liverpool. They're unbeaten at home. They don't get beat at Anfield. I think they've won 10 and drawn one of the last 11. Got to fancy them. But,
Chelsea
Hazard,
got to go. Chelsea got to stay in there for the top 4.
Yeah. Well, for all the United fans, we want Liverpool to win. But we don't want to win the league, obviously. Yeah. But I think Liverpool will roll them,
Watford, are they going to, as Steve said, maybe play around now? They're safe and they've got
I don't know. That manager...
He has a go, eh?
He has a go. Delafarre will play. Arsenal, Paul, were terrible against Everton.
I was listening to the commentators talking about Delafarre. He was on the bench. He was at
Barcelona.
Barcelona. He was the key youngster.
Yeah.
They said this boy is coming through like a Messi. Yeah. He was so good. And then suddenly they say he's a difficult customer.
Yeah, he looks it. But it can't be easy playing with Messi. Messi gets the ball. But he's good enough to play.
This must be his 3rd club since he was with Messi.
Yeah.
So he can play.
Yeah, he can play. Well, I think there's goals written
he
all
limped
over
off, he limped off.
Yeah, scored 2.
And then the final whistle, he sprinted on.
What do you think? Look for the glory. But he'll be up for it this week. Monday night, big game, London derby.
What do you think?
Well, I think it's got a draw. I like a draw here.
Arsenal's away form, shocking.
Terrible, 1-9. And that was Huddersfield, and they shouldn't have beat Huddersfield.
Yeah. Let's go championship fixtures, Budge. Aston Villa, doing well?
Doing great, Paul. But that's the 2 informed teams in the championship. Bristol City away from home. I think they've only lost 1-9. Wow. Aston Villa have won their last 7 after last night.
Whoa.
But they've had a couple of late scares, Paul. Should be a good game. Aston Villa in the draw for me.
Derby County are just off the playoffs.
They're just off them. They always have...
They need it. They need to win.
Beat at Blackburn, I think it was on Tuesday.
They're not bad at home.
Not bad at home. They'll win this, Paul. I think there'll be plenty of goals too. Bolton...
They need it to get back in that scrum.
Bolton have got to go for it because they're under pressure to stay relegation. So there should be plenty of goals, but it's got to be Derby.
The Town, are they gone, Ipswich?
Yeah, they got relegated last night. But Birmingham drew with Sheffield United. If they hadn't had the 12 points deducted from them, they would have been about 5-6 points off the playoff spots. They beat Leeds.
Middlesbrough, 7th.
Yeah, Paul, they've lost their last 4 until last night. They lost the last 4 at home. Yeah, they should beat Hull City or Port Travers, but there's goals in this game, Paul.
Yeah.
Fans aren't happy with Tony Pulis.
Forest at home, all right.
I like Forest at home, Paul. Blackburn don't travel too well.
Forest,
they just can't win away from home. I think it's 10 games away from home they haven't won. That's why they're not in the playoff hunt. But I think they'll be too good for Blackburn at home.
All right, QPR drew last night with Millwall.
Now, Swansea have been in great form. But away from home, they're terrible. I think this is a chance to get off a bad run of 6 defeats. QPR are terrible, Paul.
Yeah.
So if Swansea can't
Wally
go
with the He's gone, eh?
Yeah, he got fired last week. 14-10 Swansea, Paul, in our bets.
Okay, and then how about
I like Reading.
Reading,
Yeah,
20th, playing Brentford 14th.
You know, watch them in the FA Cup against Man United. They got the new manager Gomez, and they really played well. And that was a second squad-related United team, but they played well. Slowly but surely, they're edging results. Paul, and at home, they beat Preston. They murdered Preston at home. I think that's
What's
the upset
happened
of the
at Preston?
weekend. Now we've lost our last few. You know, we lost to Leeds at home. We had a player sent off this after half time. But Reading in a draw for me there against Brentford.
Would you take 6-10 Sheffield United?
No, because Mill will have a funny habit of upsetting the apple cart. But Sheffield United in form, bad result against Birmingham, but you expect them to rebound.
Stoke City,
Well, Stoke were going
way
well.
down the league for
You
a
know,
team
they
of
had
theirs.
4 clean 0-0 draws in a row. Hadn't conceded a goal in 6 until Swansea battered them the other night. You've got to think they should beat Rotherham. But when you don't score many goals, Paul,
Yeah.
you know, 5-2.
West Brom,
Well, West Brom, Preston. We've lost our last 3. We got beat by Reading, then we lost to Sheffield United at home, which is a close game, and we lost to Leeds.
you're right away from home though.
Yeah, away from home, we've won 6 of the last 7. Our last defeat was at Reading. West Brom are in the playoffs. They seem to be like a neutral, Paul. So
Yeah.
any result's possible there, but you've got to think West Brom should beat us.
Leeds Wednesday, good game.
Oh, this would be a good game, yeah. Steve Bruce, you know, Yorkshire Derby.
Hasn't won. Sheffield Wednesday haven't lost one of their last 6.
Yeah,
away.
1-2 drawn 4. They've only lost 1 in 12, and that was to Aston Villa last Sunday. You know, Leeds, it looks like it's turning for them. They're scoring late.
They have
but
to put the
they've
pressure
got to,
on.
yeah. My boys said that's the best team that's been to Deepdale this year.
Who,
So
Leeds?
Leeds, yeah. So they think Leeds will win 6-10, but it's a close game, that, Paul. But Leeds should
And
win.
Norwich comfortable.
I don't know, Sunday lunchtime, Paul. It's a bumpy pitch. Wigan don't get beat at home too often. But you've got to think 9-10 Norwich, Paul. But
Yeah. Sure, they
not
want to
in
go
my
up.
play. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the PSL. Let's hotten up, and
Yeah.
they're starting to drop a few teams off. But if you look at the results this week,
Yeah.
Pirates 2-0 over Black Leopards.
Yeah, it was hard. I watched quite a bit of it, Paul. Scored and yeah, deserved to win. Going well, but they've got extra games they've played over Sundowns, but you can only win your games.
Yeah, see, they're top of the log. Now,
Yeah.
26 games, 47 points.
Yeah.
Sundowns have only had 24 games, 3 points behind. Sundowns still got the baton.
But they're in the CAF this week, Paul. They'll get through to the semi-finals. They play Al Ahly in Egypt, so they're not playing this weekend again.
Bidvest Wits have dropped the ball.
Paul, I've watched them the last couple. They're a little bit unlucky to concede an injury time against Pirates. They lost 1-0. They were terrible when they got knocked out of the Nedbank Cup. I don't know what's going on there.
Cape Town City, they can't. The league's two-horse race now.
Two-horse race.
Two-horse race. Polokwane, Supersport United. Chiefs not in the top 6.
Nah, 7th, Paul. Just too inconsistent.
Okay, let's look at... just I want to talk to you about... They had these big matches, North plays South at
Yeah.
Wembley now. 85,000 watch Portsmouth Sunderland.
Yeah, well, it's the Football League trophy. It's League One and the League Two teams. Now, they have a North and South section, so they don't want them travelling for the fans. And Sunderland won the North version of it and Portsmouth the South. So it just shows how many supporters they've got when they get to a big occasion.
Can you believe it's the top of the country versus
Yeah.
the bottom of the
And
country?
when you saw Man City
Yeah.
couldn't sell their share, or they had to give a portion of tickets back for the FA Cup, it makes you wonder. I
Man
think-
City.
Well, Man City, one, all their tickets went out to anybody who wanted to buy them in Manchester. 2, they subsidised their travel. And 3, they had to hand I think they got 40,000 tickets. They handed a few thousand back, which is terrible. But
When they beat Brighton, there was 71,000.
Yeah.
And then Watford Wolves, 80,000.
yeah, well, you know, the Man City fans claim they're in so many competitions, but I don't buy that. You want to go to Wembley, Paul.
Yeah, you want to go to Wembley, correct. I've been. Okay, let's look at the local football. The PSL fixtures, Budge. Talk to me about
It's
that one.
Friday, Paul. You know, Chipper drew 4-4 with the Wits. I think Chipper can get a result here. They beat Amazulu in Umlazi last weekend, and you don't normally beat Amazulu.
Who's taking Chipper?
No, it's Clinton Larson.
That's
Clinton's
right,
gone there. He's got them organised. I think win and draw Chipper, Paul. I wouldn't be taking 7 or 10 Bidvest Wits the way they've been going lately.
Black Leopards Chiefs?
Well, Chiefs, I read Mittendorf's report after the game. He's going to rotate his team. They played great against Cape Town City, but were terrible last week when they lost to Baraka. Black Leopards, it's hard to win in Toyondo, Paul, but Chiefs in a draw for me there.
Highlands Park 10th, Maritzburg 16th.
Well, I watched Maritzburg beat Bloem Celtic. They had a Ugandan left-footed player. Jeez, the goal he scored was the 89th minute. Was like Professor Ngabani. Lashed
One
it
of those,
top corner.
yeah.
There's got to be goals in this. You know, Maritzburg are 4 points from safety with 5 games. Eric Tinkler's teams have a go. A draw a player, Paul, but wouldn't surprise me if this is 2-2, 3-2 or something, because they've got to have a go, Maritzburg.
Supersport Polokwane.
I like Polokwane here, Paul. They score goals. You know, Supersport don't get beat too often, but the way Polokwane play, they have a full go.
Yeah.
So Polokwane in a draw for me there, Paul, but it's goals.
Pirates stay on top.
Yeah, they should be.
4-10
Yeah,
to
you
beat
can't
Free
take
State
4
Stars.
to 10, Paul, but Free State Stars are struggling. They're the team Maritzburg are hoping to catch. Got to think Pirate. They've got to go for it, Paul. Want to win the league, you should beat Free State Stars, especially at home.
Bloem Celtic, Cape Town City.
Yeah, just two disappointing teams, Paul. They both got knocked out at the quarterfinal stage of the Nedbank Cup, and since then it's gone pear-shaped. So a draw for me there.
Local derby, Arrows, Amazulu.
Yeah, Arrows have come right. I like Amazulu here, Paul. I think I like Amazulu win and draw. You know,
Were they
Arrows
dock
semi-final.
points?
Yeah, no. Sorry, yeah, there have been dock points. That was earlier on in the season, but they're only about 3 or 4 points off the relegation zone. So they've been having a full go. I expect this to be a draw, Paul. Park the bus. Make sure you don't get beat Amazulu. Otherwise, they'll be in the relegation battle, especially that playoff battle.
Let's look at your soccer pools, Budge. Soccer 6.
Yeah, we kick off South African and England one. I've gone Chiefs win and draw at home against Black Leopards. I've gone the field looking for the upset with Highlands Park and Maritzburg. I've gone Brighton win and draw at home against Bournemouth. I've banked Al Ahly playing Sundowns. Sundowns are 5-0 up from the first leg. So this is the second leg. I've gone Pirates win and draw at home against Free State, and I've sided with Polokwane.
You haven't. You've gone just win Pirates.
Sorry, Pirates to beat Free State Stars. Yeah. And I've gone Polokwane win and draw at home away at Supersports.
2-1-6.
2-1-6, correct, John.
The next one, Budge.
Well, the next one you'll see at the bottom, I've looked for a bit of a lurker. I've gone Aston Villa win and draw at home against Bristol City. I've gone the field with Brighton, Bournemouth. I think Burnley are certainties to beat Cardiff. So do as likewise. I think Everton will beat Fulham. I've gone the field with Southampton Wolves, and I've just thrown the draw in case, Paul. We can spend 2-1-6. That'll make it pay. If you want to halve your perm, spend 108 Banker United.
Okay.
You know, that's how we've gone looking for the upset.
Let's go for the 10.
Yeah, the 10, I've gone Kaiser Chiefs win and draw at Black Leopards. I've gone the field with Highlands Park against Maritzburg. I've gone Brighton win and draw at home against Bournemouth. I've banked Burnley to beat Cardiff. Everton to win at Fulham. Second page, I've gone Southampton win and draw at home against Wolves. I've banked Man United to beat West Ham. I've gone Al Ahly win and draw at home against Sundowns. I've banked Pirates to beat Free State Stars, and I've gone the field with Supersport Polokwane 288.
All right, the big one.
13, Paul, my usual 5. Well, I've gone 6 bankers this week. I've banked United to beat West Ham. I've gone Brighton win and draw at home against Bournemouth. I've banked Burnley to beat Cardiff. Everton to beat Fulham. I've sided with Southampton win and draw at home against Wolverhampton. Likewise, Aston Villa win and draw at home against Bristol City. I've banked Notts Forest to beat Blackburn. I've gone Leeds United to beat Sheffield Wednesday. I've gone the field in Middlesbrough, Hull City. I've banked Swansea to win at QPR. I've gone Reading win and draw at home against Brentford. Likewise, West Brom win and draw against Preston North End. And the Swedish League started, so I've gone IRK Norrköping winning draw at Kalmar 326. Yeah.
All right, Budge, let's look at your best bets for the weekend.
Yeah, the Premiership quad, I've gone Burnley to beat Cardiff. I've gone Everton to beat Fulham, and over 2.5 total goals in the game.
Yeah.
And I've gone over 2.5 goals in the Southampton Wolves and Watford Arsenal game, 3,300 to 200.
The quartet.
Onto the Championship, I've gone Notts Forest to beat Blackburn, Swansea to beat QPR. I've gone Derby to beat Bolton and over 2.5 total goals. And I've gone Reading to win or draw at home against Brentford, 3,200 to 200.
Right, let's look at your PSL.
The PSL, yeah, I thought very hard this week. So I've gone Amazulu to win or draw against Golden Arrows. Likewise, Chipper United to win or draw against Bidvest Wits. And I've gone over 2.5 goals. And the games I think will be open. Highlands Park against Maritzburg and Supersport United against Polokwane City, 3,400.
Right, both teams to score.
Both teams to score. Our 5 games this week are Liverpool, Chelsea, Southampton, Wolves, Aston Villa, Bristol City, Ipswich, Birmingham, and Leeds, Sheffield Wednesday, 3,900 to 200.
Okay, then Leeds a Spanish
Onto our
omelette.
Spanish omelette. I've gone Atletico Bilbao to beat Rayo Vallecano. I've gone Sevilla to beat Real Betis. I've gone Atletico Madrid to beat Celta Vigo and over 2.5 total goals. And I've gone Valencia to beat Levante and both teams to score 3,300 to 200.
Okay, the Collis King.
And our Collis King 6 on extra, I've gone Burnley to beat Cardiff. I've gone Notts Forest to beat Blackburn. I've got Glasgow Celtic to beat Aberdeen in the Scottish Cup on Sunday. I've gone Atletico Madrid to beat Celta Vigo. I've gone Eintracht Frankfurt to beat Augsburg. And I've gone Roma to beat Udinese, 3,600 to 200.
Those look good, Budge. And now you're still strong on your best bet. Now you've gone Burnley this week, 9 to 10.
It's 9.5 to 10, Paul, and several of them. Just can't see them. They just look like they're back.
Even though they're fighting hard, the other team, this team's back.
Cardiff at home against Chelsea, but Chelsea were poor.
Yeah.
Burnley have turned the corner. They get another result into like 11 to 12 spot. I think Burnley are too good for them, Paul.
Value bet?
Yeah, Reading, they're at home, they're hard to beat. Brentford are terrible away from home, and they did draw 2-2 last night with Reading. Sorry, at Norwich City. So they're only a couple of points above the relegation. They've got to go for it. Where Brentford are in mid-table. So 21 to 10's our play, Paul.
All right, don't forget, last one standing. Are we including Friday night?
Yes.
So get involved. There's still 149 people with Anthony Sewer, the man to beat with these 7 teams. So watch out for the Gold Circle duo, Michael Boods and Tay Statler. I'm still in.
And you're still in,
Charlie
Paul.
Pigram?
Charlie's still cruising.
A Bood?
Be careful.
Oh, yeah, Boods, you told me a Bood's lurking. Okay, until next time, stay on side.